Hello and welcome to the Void XRC video. Thanks for tuning in. So this will be part 2 of converting this toy dump truck to an RC dump truck. Let's just show you what I've done so far. Haven't got too much done, but I have got some progress. As you can see, I've got the axles mounted. Not fully mounted yet, mind you, but they're partially mounted. I'll show you what I mean. Front one is most obvious, as I can rotate that all the way around. I still have to figure out some other anchoring points, which I'm not 100% sure. I have a couple ideas, not really sure. On the rear I don't have nearly as much lift as you can see, it just goes about that much. But obviously that's not acceptable, I need to secure them down a lot better. Let me just take these tires off so we can have a little bit better review. I can explain what I've done and what my ideas are, and maybe you guys can help me come up with a better idea. There goes that screw. As you can see, I've got some hex extensions. I realized that I was going to need them if I wanted to make this project work with what I had. Thankfully I didn't have to buy them, I already had them, so that was nice. It also means I can use these wheels that originally came with my Wraith, which I was originally going to use but couldn't because the offset was wrong, but I can use them now. And one more. Alright, so I did the rear first. As you can see, I've riveted in a couple aluminum plates to act as mounts. And then so to fix this problem, well, the first thing that just popped into my head, which isn't a very good solution, is just drill a hole on each side and run a zip tie through. Now that obviously doesn't look very good. Obviously I would cut that off too, but it doesn't look very good. Although it does a pretty good job of keeping it down when it's done on both sides. I haven't tightened it up much, so it's got a little bit of movement in it. But what I was sort of thinking on doing was using zip ties and then also epoxying all around here, just to help keep that reel reel secure. Doesn't really seem like the best idea to me, but I'm not really sure what else to do at this point. So if any of you guys have any other suggestions, if you can see any other options for doing that, that would be much appreciated. It would also be nice if I had some longer screws so I could use both these tabs, but I don't currently have any screws that'll go the whole way through properly. You can see I've had to come up with some little spacers to keep everything nice and centered, and I do believe I have these, both the front and rear, pretty well centered. I did the same thing on the front, made a couple aluminum brackets, put them in there, and just like the rear, the front is centered pretty well. I didn't have spacers that work, so I just used some little pieces of aluminum that were the right thickness, just drill a hole through them. So they're just temporary spacers. Hopefully I'll find a better looking spacer than just that. So I was thinking of doing the same thing on the front. Drill a hole through, put a zip tie around it, hold it down quite nicely, and then also epoxying up and around. The knuckle wouldn't get it, so that's not a problem, but up and around here, can't really see, I know. Anyways, that's my idea for locking the axles in. I still don't really like it because zip ties, it's not really the greatest, but I don't really have any other ideas at the moment. So zip ties is what it's probably going to end up being. Let's just go ahead and rivet this side right here now, because I haven't done it yet. I don't even have nuts on the back, that's nice. So I do have to drill out these holes a little bit more for the rivet to work. Rivet gun. Here's the rivets I'm using. Come on out of there. Oh, well, that back of that rivet's stuck in the rivet gun. Alright, got the back of the rivet out. Let's drill out the next hole and rivet that one in. There we go. That plate is now riveted in nicely. So as you can see, I've made a little bit of progress. Oh, the one other thing I've done is I did put the motor that I'm going to run in there. So that's nice. That'll fit in here. I guess I'll just show the quick fitment of how this should be going here. So as you can see, drive shaft angles aren't too bad for that, but there's no way I would get a drive shaft to the front. The only possible way was if I was to raise this, like, or lower it, I guess, since the truck's upside down, and then I could probably connect them, but I don't really want the motor sticking that far down, so it will be going up in there, rear wheel drive only. So the one other thing that I have to do a little bit more work on is tire clearance for turning. Let me just put on a front tire here. I can show you. So there is a couple places that I'm still catching. I'm rubbing up in there, as you can see, where it's picking up. And also these little boxes and this little bit here I'm rubbing also too, as you can see. So I'll probably limit the steering to just keep it out of there a little bit. If I bring it back just a hair, it stops rubbing on this and it still rubs on this, so I'm just going to cut this down a little bit, and then I can have an okay turning radius. I know big dump trucks don't have a very good turning radius anyway, so that's sort of keeping it with scale. But that's where I'm at right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this update video on my dump truck conversion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.